Hey guys, it's Nokia Otaku. Princess Mononoke by Studio Ghibli is one that everyone who is a fan of anime films have probably watched by now, but the meaningful story, relatable characters, and symbolic representation make this a classic film to watch time and time again. Directed and written by Hayao Miyazaki, and with music by the legendary Joe Hisaishi, you already know you're in for a treat with names like these on the credits. I'm usually light on spoilers, but due to the nature of this movie and the symbolic aspects I want to explore, this review will be heavier on spoilers than usual. If you haven't watched Mononoke Hime yet, go watch it first. It's simply amazing. Let's start with a brief synopsis first. Emishi village in Muromachi, Japan is attacked by a ferocious demon. A young prince, the last prince of his tribe Ashitaka, risks his own life to defeat the demon. The demon, previously a boar god known as Nago, became corrupted due to an iron ball lodged in his body. Nago, before his dying breath, curses Ashitaka's right arm with demon corruption, and with the guidance of the village wise lady, seeks out to travel to the western lands to find a cure for his arm before the corruption spreads and kills him. Ashitaka eventually arrives at a town by the name of Tatara, where they are involved in a fierce conflict over nature versus human technological advancement. Lady Eboshi of Tatara wants to expand her town by clearing forests for iron sand to produce iron for weapons and other needs. The iron ball lodged in Nago that cursed Ashitaka was produced in this town. The forces of nature versus the ideology of man begin to collide, and in the middle is Ashitaka, who understands the needs of the town of Tatara, but also begins to acknowledge the importance of the forest and their gods through a wolf race girl by the name of San, princess of the wolf gods who fights for the sake of nature and their inhabitants. This movie expertly explores the common theme of man versus nature and the need of compromise for man to survive. Hayao Miyazaki has been known for his strong anti-war stance, even stating in an interview with the Asahi Shimbun, "Japan went to war out of foolish arrogance, caused trouble throughout the entire East Asia, and ultimately brought destruction upon itself." And even though that interview was about his more recent movie, The Wind Rises, you can see the same sentiment in this older work as well. How war, in this case technology versus nature, and conflict, causes destruction not to just one party, but to everyone involved, and even to those who aren't. The character Jigo represents cunning arrogance in this film, who at first befriends Ashitaka and tells him that he may find help from the great forest spirit, a deer-like god by day and a giant night walker by night. Jigo, no matter what destruction it causes, his true end goal is that he wants to present the forest spirit's head to the emperor so that he may be paid exorbitantly, using Ashitaka to try to get his way. The ending sequence showcases how conflict is resolved through compromise and not just destruction, by eventually Jigo realizing that he must give up the head of the forest spirit to cease the land's destruction and his potential death. Adding another complex layer to his personality, Jigo would have continued to deliver the head of the spirit to the emperor if he were not surrounded by demon corruption at the end threatening his life, showcasing how often many times humans must be forced into compromise in order to reflect and feel remorse for their actions. There is always a fight inside man about their own desires versus the need to do right. Jigo represents the worst in people, where that remorse does not even present itself and the fight for their desires wins over their conscience. Ghibli has always been a pioneer in movies with strong interesting female leads, and that is also the case with Princess Mononoke. We have the women of Tatara who basically run the iron operation of that city. And then we have the exploration and character development of Princess Mononoke. She is called that by the other characters as she was raised by a Mononoke and looks and acts like one, meaning a spirit. A mirror character to Ashitaka, a girl who has thrown away her humanity, who was raised by wolves in the forest, who strives to destroy humans in order to save her forest family. At first, we see her lack any traits of humanity at all, thinking herself as a wolf and seeking to destroy anyone opposed to the forest. But through the affection and attention Ashitaka shows her, she also begins to learn how to show compassion and admiration through the bond that she creates with Ashitaka. I love how the movie does not end with a cliché love sequence where Ashitaka and the princess get together and live happily forever after, but instead ends with the same idea of living through compromise repeated throughout the movie, by Ashitaka helping to rebuild Tatara after the destruction caused by the Nightwalker, and the princess returning to her forest with the wolves. We get a beautiful sequence of Ashitaka promising to visit the princess in the forest, and the princess acknowledging that admiration. I really enjoyed the use of kodama to represent the life of the forest, showing how thriving or not the forest is depending on how many there appear to be. These spirits are cute and add a light comedic side to the film, which is great for a movie with a lot of violence and sometimes grotesque scenes. which is important to know. A lot of Ghibli films like Totoro are just overall cute and bubbly, but go into Mononoke knowing that it does have violence and some highly grotesque imagery in some scenes. If you're showing this to your child, I advise some caution. I love this film and enjoy watching it again and again. No matter how many times I see it, there's always something else I see that captivates me and makes me fall in love with the film all over again. Everything is just beautifully drawn and animated, so much so that even decades later after the film was released, the movie still looks and sounds astounding today. Watch it in Blu-ray if you can. The beautiful hand-drawn sequences just pop, and you'll be starstruck throughout the entire movie and wonder where 2 hours have gone. If you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and watch Princess Mononoke. You won't regret it. Anyways, that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for watching, likes and subs, and see you on the other side. Bye!